Fuad here, back on Behind the Gloves with another interview. I'm delighted to be joined by Avril Mathie here in Miami. First of all, let the people know who you are. I think I've seen you on social media a bit, but let the fight fans know who you exactly are.
Hi, I'm Avril Mathie and I'm Australian, living in Miami for the last 4 years. Pro boxer, former model, still do it a little bit though actually. And I'm about to have my 6th pro fight in 2 days, can't wait. And yeah, that's me.
What inspired the change from being a model to getting your face punched in? Explain me that, because I can't really see the logic behind it, but you must have a good reason.
Well, typically I don't get my face punched in too bad. I'm like really good at moving my head and I'm fast on my feet. So, why? Well, it was kind of a transition. Like I always did both. I did a lot more modeling when I was younger, but I guess my interest kind of changed more. Once I started boxing, I was just obsessed with it. And that's really it. I'm obsessed with boxing. I love it. I love everything about it. And back in the day when I was modelling a lot, I would do pageants, and when I first started doing pageants, it was such a thrill to get up on stage and be put on the spot and have to answer a question and know who you're going to look at and twirl around and what you're going to wear and all that, and it was exciting. But after many years and sort of winning them all, it was like, okay, like losing its edge a little. And in that time I started boxing, and boxing gave me that adrenaline and everything and more of the excitement, having to think in split seconds of time and react, and you don't know what's coming at you and you just have to like perform, and you're on the big stage and you entertain, and I just love boxing. And yeah, I guess it's a thing. I can do anything. I don't have to box, but I love to box, so it's my obsession.
Now, women's boxing is coming onto a high now. You've got some amazing fighters coming through. Is the goal right here now to become a world champion in the future? I don't want, not in a disrespectful way, but in some terms, it's almost because there's not many female fighters. There's chances to win world titles in a faster way. Is that your goal in 2020 or 2021?
Yeah, of course. At the moment, I'm improving every fight, and I'm not where I want to be yet. I'm still growing as a fighter and improving and figuring out my style and learning things in the gym and then implementing them in my fights and carrying them out. And I think pretty soon, though, I'm going to be at a level where I feel really good to contend for that world title. In my head, I'm telling myself by the end of the year, I'd really like to step it up and take that opportunity. But we'll see what happens, and we'll see, how many times I can fight between now and then. I'm hoping to be pretty busy, and obviously the more experience, the faster I'm going to get there. So,
is there any females on the scene right now who you look at and sort of inspire you, and you think you kind of look up to?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I love what Katie Taylor and Claressa Shields are doing for the sport. They're having their Olympic history, and women's boxing only got introduced to the Olympics in 2012, and then we've had 2016 Olympics. So I think since it got introduced to the Olympics, and then those Olympic boxers that did really well have turned pro, that's what's really helped women's boxing to explode in the world. And people are taking an interest because they realize that women's boxing has talent. And I think that, with the combination of social media, is giving people of all walks of life, not just boxers, a platform to be recognized, that people that are not even boxing fans are like, damn, what is that and what are they doing? And so male and female and any career. And I think the combination of social media, women's boxing being in the Olympics, has really helped women's boxing be recognized, and people are taking more of an interest. So it's a super exciting time to be a part of it. And just look at Katie Taylor and Claressa Shields, and they're just two of the biggest names, but there's a lot of really, really talented females that are taking advantage of this and showing their talent and putting on really good fights and good shows. And the thing is, like, of course, yes, you can become a world champion faster in female boxing because there is a little less competition, but that competition at the top is tough, like
100%.
Those women are, women don't have to box. Like we can, it's like you're there because you dedicate your life to it and you love it and you want to be the best, and not taking anything away from the males. I know like males can be like that too, but I don't know. It's different being a female and a boxer.
You mentioned Claressa Shields there. What do you make of Claressa? Obviously, there was a bit of back and forth between her and Layla Ali, discussing who is the real GWO, as they say, greatest woman of all time. What do you think of that discussion?
I think I'd love to see that fight. That would be sick. But you know what? Like, I think it's two women that have achieved a lot in the sport, and both feel like they've got a right to that title. And they're two different eras. And I mean, unless they sort of have a go, we'll never know. But I think I appreciate both of them as fighters. I think they're both incredible. And I think, you know, if you think something about yourself, be confident and say it. And both of them are doing that. So good for them.
But I know you also mentioned social media there. We've got a YouTube fight on this card. What are you making of all that stuff going on right now?
Listen, I get why a lot of long-time boxers and real talents in boxing that have put their life in the sport are kind of mad about the fact that we've got something like that on the card.
You could be mad at him. He started it.
Really?
He had the first fight.
That's funny. But here's the thing. If those guys being on this card will bring millions of viewership eyes to boxing that would never normally watch boxing. So the way I see it is like, okay, this is what's up. Take the positives out of it. What's going to happen? There's millions of people that would never watch boxing that are now going to watch my fight, their fight, their fight, and their fight just because they're watching. And if I put on a good show, which I plan to do, I've now got millions more fans. Like, isn't that a good thing for everybody? Like, I just think, okay, yeah, they're getting opportunities that other people have had to work their asses off for to get something similar. So I get why people are jealous or bitter or think it's unfair. But at the same time, like, think about how it's benefiting you and what you're getting out of this too, you know? Like, it's
entertainment at the end of the day.
It's all entertainment, and at the end of the day, I'm all for like everybody doing their best and getting the opportunities. And you know, like they're giving me an opportunity. They got one, so do I. It's like different, you know.
All right, well said. All right, I'll look forward to seeing you fight on Thursday. Any last messages to the fight fans?
Tune in. Let's go.
All right, Avril, thank you very much.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do so by clicking this icon right here, or else